They literally cut my food stamp card off. Zero balance. They took everything.
Oh, Methany. That's terrible. Wait. This you?
You look so dumb right now.
Well, I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. Methan, who's looking dumb now? Voted for that man, and now you have concepts of food, benefits, cash, and childcare. Be a no for 4 is crazy. It's crazy because you were so happy that Trump was back in office. Boo, is this you? Not a brain cell or a tooth in sight. Found it now, you're finding out. All I can say is I hope you've still been practicing it in case you're wondering, practicing for what? Again, I ask, is this you? Well, girl, get ready to do something strange for a piece of change.
Do you remember this woman? Or how about this woman? They look the same, right?
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you.
Beyond betrayal. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign,
It is political.
The elected officials from the Republican Party,
Donald Trump.
actually told us that he was not going to touch the document.
The local Venezuelan caucus of Florida praised Donald Trump in the first video. They voted for Donald Trump because of the first video. They raised their voices to get him elected. They spread the word, and they did everything that they possibly could to get people in South Florida to vote for this man. Their voices to get him elected. They spread the word, and they did everything that they possibly could to get people in South Florida to vote for this man. And that's exactly what happened.
Few moments later.
Now official. Speaking Spanish in public has been prohibited in a controversial and unprecedented movement. Because if you speak Spanish in public, you could be automatically arrested and expelled from the country. As President Donald Trump announced a new law, which prohibits immigrants from speaking Spanish in public. In the United States, the measure, which is already being called the Law of Hispanic Silence, contemplates a fine of $2,000 for anyone who is surprised. Conversing in Spanish, in street stores, restaurants, or any other space open to the public. This country has an official language, and it is English. We need to protect our national identity, Trump declared at a meeting full of supporters, as the news spread like wildfire. Among Latino communities, fear already dominates cities like Miami.
Now, they are feeling the consequences of their actions because now they are seeing that Donald Trump wants to get rid of them also. We tried to tell y'all.
Few moments later.
They took my wife.
This man who wished not to be identified says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything's good. He just came in and snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
This man hopes this message makes it to him.
I get a chance to talk to you, man. Yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here.
Kansas farmers are publicly regretting voting for Donald Trump and wish they would have read Project 2025 now that Donald Trump's policies are directly affecting them, specifically the cuts to USAID funding, which would have been used to purchase farmers' goods. Listen to what the executive director of the Kansas Farmers Union had to say about it.
There are a lot of people who are very concerned out there who voted for this administration, but you know, they wrote it all down in Project 2025. I guess we should have paid a little closer attention to what was in that.
Yeah, you probably should have. It's not as if people weren't warning you. It's not as if Kamala Harris went out every single day and warned Americans about Project 2025.
So this Trump supporter works for the federal government, and they tagged Trump in a post and said, "Hello, sir. I am one of the probationary employees terminated by Doge at 9 p.m. last night. I voted for you, sir, 3 times. And then he wrote a long post about how he's an asset to the state of Kentucky. And it's like, bro, Trump doesn't care. I want to revisit this farmer. This farmer who went viral for making a few posts where he clearly voted for Trump. He wouldn't say Trump by name, but he clearly just kept going the old guy versus the new guy. And he explained in a video how Biden's Inflation Reduction Act essentially saved his farm. And now that Trump paused federal grant funding, he could very well lose his farm due to Donald Trump. But he wouldn't actually call Donald Trump out by name, which I thought was odd. But now we have an update from this farmer. All that I ask is that you drop a like, subscribe, and watch till the end.
Just because I voted for somebody doesn't mean that it's your Trump. I don't idolize him. There's some people that do idolize him. I don't idolize him. I still think there's a lot of things that he's doing wrong. But like I said in previous videos, you get 2 choices. So we'll start off by saying it's not your Trump. And then it says if you didn't need it, then why do you need it now? So the way that this handout works is I sign a contract saying that I am going to front the money for this, I'm going to do the work, and then once I complete that, then they give me the cost sharing portion as part of the contract. So I fronted the money on it, I've done the labor, and now they're saying, hey, the money's not there, it's frozen, we can't give it back to you. So now I've got my money tied up in it, and it's something that I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for the cost sharing that the program allowed. So it's not something that I had to have in order to run the farm. It was just a benefit that did help me. It's not something that I had to have, but now that I've got my money in it, I need my money back out of it. Also, everybody says in the comments, Project 2025, didn't you read that? That's his platform. From my understanding, that wasn't his platform. That's not what he's running on. Project 2025, I did not read Project 2025 because from my understanding, that's not what he was running on. That's what I was told, and that's the information that I had.
For the woman in Alabama crying on CBS that now she has no health care because she was fired, and all of you who lost your job in the university and your research and everything else, and all of you who voted for Trump, all of those MAGA tears that you're crying now, you can use them to fill the Gulf of America.
A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name.